Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing August recap, and we are going to be filling out this monthly recap sheet, just comparing what I started off in the beginning of the month versus where I ended up in the end of the month. We're going to do a count of my investments and kind of recalibrate the placeholders in those envelopes. We are also going to be cash condensing. We will be adding to my cashback rewards. And depending on how long this video goes, we may do a quick demo of the Empower app that I've mentioned before. I've had quite a few people either say that they do use it or they're interested in it. And I think it's a fantastic tool, but I don't want to get the video too long. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, for the monthly recap, this is going to be for the month of August. And as we did with the month of July, basically, we are going to fill out each week what we stuffed, what we spent, what we had as a gain or loss, and then we'll do the investments, and then I like to do the accomplishments and goals for next month. So first off, for week number 1, we stuffed with $1,317. We spent $1,313, so almost spent as much as we stuffed. And so then that was a gain of $4. So we saved $4 more than what we spent. Week number 2 is going to be $3,551. We spent only $682 that second week, so that was really, really good. And we had a gain of $2,869. Now, I do want to preface this that I started stuffing my travel roll significantly more than I do my normal weeks. As you can see, normally I have around that, $1,300 amount for the week, and this one obviously is more than $2,000 more. So I would just kind of take that off a little bit and just say, okay, instead of being $2,869 as a gain, if I wasn't stuffing that travel binder, it would only probably be around $869. So I just want to make sure that we are noting that this had extra travel stuffing. So I'm just going to mark it there. So same thing with weeks 3 and 4. So week 3 was $2,134. We spent only $881 for a total gain of $1,253. Again, travel. And the last week we stuffed, I stuffed $3,261. I spent $1,141. So that last week is always going to spend more, I feel, because I think I take out insurance and I do laser and a couple other things that I feel like always kind of boost that spending at the end of the month. And that will be a total gain of $2,120. So our totals are going to be $10,263 stuffed, $4,017 spent, and $6,246 gained. Again, quite a bit of that would have been for the travel binder. I think maybe $3,350. I'm going to just put that right here. $3,350 was saved towards travel. So that really leaves us with what, about almost $2,900 that we would have saved overall for the month. So it looks like a lot with $6,000, but obviously with that travel I'm going to be spending it, so it's really closer to that $3,000 gain. Let's do a quick compare to July and just kind of see how that compared. So in July, it looks like I saved way more money than I did in August, which is totally fine. I clearly spent quite a bit more. I'm guessing maybe for back to school, maybe some birthdays. And obviously I had a lot of car issues, I think, that I spent money on in August. So that's great. Investments. So this is going to help us determine what we need to do in the envelopes themselves. So 401k started with 197,289, we'll round it. I would have contributed a total of $1,888. And when I do the cash stuffing, I usually placeholder with 1,000, so I rounded up to 2,000. So I'm always stuffing a little bit more than what I'm actually saving, but because it's an investment, could go up, could go down, I'm fairly confident that it'll still get shuffled out at the end of the month. Okay, so then we ended the month with $195,862. So that gives us a loss of $3,315.37, which I wasn't going to do cents. That's okay. So basically how I did this is I took the starting amount at the beginning of the month, I added in my contributions, right? So it would have been nice to be almost at that 200,000 mark. And when I came back to the end, this is what the end amount was. So really that difference would be this plus this minus this. So it was a loss. So we'll reflect that with the parentheses, even though I did that up here, which this is not a loss. This is just, excuse me. So that was a loss on the 401k. And I think I said in one of my videos that it looked like that the stock market was trending down. So that's not very surprising to me. Okay, the HSA is going to start with $12,538. Contribution was $587. And the ending amount was $13,708. So rounding everything, and I'll just give the actual gain loss because I did include cents in my Excel calculation. So that will be a gain of $582.03. So again, we're taking the starting amount, we're adding it, so it's going to be, just over 13, maybe 13,100, and that's showing that it's a gain of 582 on top of what my contributions were. So HSA is doing really well. 529 is going to be $3,637, 38 if I round it. I contributed $250 this month. Usually I contribute $150, so $50 per child, but I add an extra $100 for my youngest's birthday. So it's a total of $250. And then that ending amount was $3,876, and it was a loss of $11.28. So not too bad. Taxable started with $10,883. I did not contribute anything to taxable this month. I usually don't. And then it ended with $10,447. Whoops. And then that would be a total loss of $436.61. All right, so total at the beginning, $224,348.94. We'll be really precise there. Contribution totals will be $2,726.18. Ending balance is $223,893.89 for a total loss of $3,181.23. So, as you can see, this month, everything went down except for that HSA. I will say my 401k has two accounts in it, one with my current job and one with my previous job, and a bunch of other jobs rolled over. I need to definitely review that old 401k account because that one continues to sort of not perform very well, whereas my current 401k, which I hold through Vanguard, and it's a I forget the specific term, but basically it's an account that Vanguard has created based on what year you think you want to retire, and it kind of does all of the work for you in terms of the amount of risk. So if I still have, 20 plus years before retirement or 30 plus years, it will calculate and recalibrate the risk. So the further you are from retirement, the higher the risk. Closer to retirement, the lower the risk. They'll start converting, more volatile stocks into bonds, for example. So that one's performing really well. This loss would be much more if that one wasn't performing well. So as you can see, between July, and I think this is still on screen, between July and August, I spent a lot more money in August than I did in July. I saved a lot more money than I did in August if you take out the travel. My investments went up quite a bit, went up by $9,600. And then, so this ending is this starting, as you can see. And then this one, everything kind of just stayed the same or, slightly underperformed. I'm sure that's a very small percentage overall. But that's one of the things with investing. My philosophy is don't try to game the system, just be consistent and steady and just keep, trusting the process. So even though I have a little bit of a loss, I had a huge gain last month. I'm going to continue to invest the same way I have been doing, with the idea that historically the stock market always performs, really well. And I have a long time until I retire. So if I suffer some losses, I will hopefully have plenty of time to recoup them. Okay, accomplishments this month. I was on budget with gifts. So I did not overspend in my gift envelope, which is very, very hard because I am the type of person that either buys a bunch of gifts ahead of time and says, oh, I'm totally set, forget that I bought the gifts, and then go out and panic and buy more gifts. Or I will buy a gift and be like, I am sticking to this budget, let's say, like my kids' classmates, $20. I'm only spending $20 on the gift. And at some point, inevitably, I look at it and say, this is such a small gift. I need to get something to add to it. And then it usually becomes like $30 or $40 gift. So I've been trying to really stick to budget, and these envelopes have really been helping. So I accomplished that this month. It was a goal of mine last month, I think. Another accomplishment I'm going to say is I created the travel roll, and I actually started budgeting for it. So I am hoping that when everything gets calculated for my trip, that I will come out ahead, or I will have at least saved enough where it's a very minimal amount that I have to dig into a buffer. And then finally, back to school. So I completed that back to school savings box, and I had enough money for everything I wanted to spend at the beginning of the school year, including PTA membership, including pictures, and including some fun stuff. Like, for example, I have a little extra money. I'm going to buy they call it spirit days at his school. So we're going to buy, like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something so that he can wear for spirit days. So that money is probably going to be completely used up, but I'm just really happy that I budgeted for it throughout, several months, and it has covered everything. So I think that worked out really well. Goals for next month, birthday spending. I want to make sure that stays within budget, including my kids. They have a savings challenge that I completed and am spending on their gifts. So I want to make sure that I stay within birthday spending. I want to do some meal planning. I am filming this actually after I came back from my trip, and we did some really excellent meal planning while on the trip. We were staying at a hotel that had a kitchenette, and one of the things that I told my husband I really wanted to do was plan some meals while we were out, because dinner, especially my kids are exhausted by the time dinner hits. They're little monsters if we go out to eat because they're just overtired and usually hungry. And so one of the things we did immediately was we went to the grocery store, happened to be a Target in Portland. We bought ground beef. I bought some canned sauce, which is, do not tell any of my relatives, because my mother's side of the family is Italian, like Italian from Italy, and they would die if they heard that I bought jarred sauce instead of making my sauce. But we were on vacation, so you have to make do. We bought jarred sauce. We zhuzhed it up, I think Rachel Ray would say, with some fresh garlic and some additional herbs, and ground beef and sausage, for example. And that was great because that lasted 2 meals and it was super cheap compared to, you know, what would have cost us to go out to dinner for 7 people for 2 meals. So those are kind of some of the things. We bought bread and we bought some deli meat. We also used some peanut butter and jelly. There were individual packets from the breakfasts that we had. So we grabbed a couple of those for the kids. You know, we'd grab an extra banana. So we just made it really work. And so I, of course, know that meal planning is a great budget tool, but it's really hard to stick to. So that is a big plan of mine, is meal planning this month. And then the last thing is stuff the business binder. So I do have a business binder. I have not stuffed it yet just because it's not like, you know, money is flowing in, but I do have it and I want to make sure that I stuff it, especially for things like taxes and for allocating budget for new things, if, you know, in addition. So that is this binder. It is a Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene. I did buy this pre-loved, which is why you see it's a little bit curved right here, and the glazing's okay. It looks like maybe it was coming off a little bit, but it's okay. I got it from one of a reseller that I've been following for a long time and watching a lot of her transactions. So I felt like she was very trusted. She offers authentication services. She guarantees her products. So I did buy this from a reseller as pre-loved, and it just has like my business categories. So I think hopefully for next month's recap, September, I will be also stuffing this. And of course, thank you to everybody that has bought Delilah. You have been my most best customer. I love you so much. Thank you for your support. I hope you are enjoying your products. To everybody else that has bought, thank you so much. It is so meaningful to me. I just love this community so much. You guys are great. Just cannot tell you how much I have really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I know in my last video, I said that I was going to try to not be so chatty based on viewers' comment, and just the outpouring of support and love with everybody being like, I feel like, you know, chatting and budgeting go hand in hand. I feel like I'm sitting down and taking care of finances with a girlfriend. Like, that makes my heart so happy. Like, I feel that way when I do these videos, and I think about all of you individually that have commented in the past that I can put a name to, sometimes a face to. And that just, I'm so glad that you get that from me, because I completely get that from you. So thank you. All right. That is it for the kind of drafting part. Let us go first to investments, and we will recalibrate the 401ks based on those amounts that we just picked up. Also, I'm going to just pause 1 second so I can zoom out a little bit just so you can see more on the screen. Okay. So for my 401k, we just said that it ended the month with $195,862. So let's see what we have. 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 1, 2, and 3. So 192,300. And I realized, I was like, wait a second, that is less than what I should have started with. But I realized for July's recap, I didn't actually go through these envelopes and add placeholders and recalibrate them. I just did the worksheets. So it's kind of fun because this is really what was stuffed, I think, in June. So we do have some more to add to it. So let's see, it should be 195. So 150, 60, 70, 80. Let's get some 10,000s in here because we can at least do one more. Let me grab a placeholder, see if I have one. And I do, there's a 10,000. All right. Okay, so 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It will be nice to get to that 200 because then it will be very condensed. So what did I say? I'm sorry, 190. And then I need another 5,000 and then 800. So let's see, we've already got the 1, 2, 3. guess I could probably round it up to 1,000, but I like to be pretty precise, so I will add a 500 in here. So 500, 600, 700, 800. So again, 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 195,000, 500, 600, 700, and 800. So there we go. That is all up to end of August. They all happen to be cursive, which kind of worked out nicely. 529, let me make sure those get pushed in. 529 is going to be 3,876. So another 3,800. So 1, 2, 3,000. I'm going to take these 150s out because I don't have as many of those. But let's see, we'll do another 100 and a 500. Here's a 100, which happens to be print, and a 500 cursive. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 36, 37, 38. So 3,800. Okay, HSA is going to be $13,700. So 10, 11, 12. Let's do another 1,000. 13,000, and then I need a 500 and 2 100s. Not gift cards. 100, 200. Okay. And I'll put these back. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 5. 13, 5. Don't need that one. 6 and 7. So 13,700. Okay, taxable investments is going to be 10,447. So 10,400. So let's see if I have another 10,000. I'm just going to do another 5,000, and I'll look for a 10,000 next time, but 5,000, 10,000, and then I just need 400. So put these away. These are terribly out of order, so that is going to make things more difficult later, but that's fine. 100, 200, 300, 400. 400. There we go. And that is it for the investments. So that is really great.